It's hard to believe that it's already been 2 years since we started this series, but it's even harder to believe it's been a full year since the last episode. And that's because after Fantastic Four: The First Steps, Marvel decided to take a year off before bringing us Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which has been so well received critically that on Letterboxd it's actually the highest rated movie in the MCU, and it's even made its way into the top 500 films on the app, joining The Dark Knight as the only 2 live-action superhero films out of the whole 500. And it also adds a third Spider-Man movie to the list because the Spider-Verse films are so good that they're both already in the top 100. Let's just hope they stick the landing on the last one. It's also done well commercially because a lot of people went to see it. Anecdotally, on opening day, there was actually a huge queue just to scan our tickets. We go to the cinema a lot, but I haven't seen anything like that since Barbenheimer or before that, No Way Home. But if you prefer the cold hard facts, it's been breaking a ton of records. Back to Letterboxd quickly, it was the fastest film ever to reach 1 million watches. It was also the fastest film to make $500 million at the box office, and the second fastest film to make $1 billion at the box office. In the US, it had the highest opening weekend ever, and it's the highest grossing film of 2026 so far. And at the time of writing this, it's just $30 million away from becoming the 10th highest grossing film of all time. So as long as Doomsday isn't a total mess, the MCU might be back in a big way. I did like the film, but I'm maybe just a wee bit lower than general consensus. You know, it's not better than Arrival or close, but I had a fun time, and the film gives a shout out to the city of Glasgow during the credits, so thank you, Spider-Man. You might be wondering why this video is 2 weeks late and why I'm just yapping about how many people have seen the film, and that's because this film has a spoiler in it. A very badly kept spoiler, but I just knew that someone would complain in the comments that this video had spoiled the film for them. So I've waited a bit so everyone has time to see the film, and you know, at this point, people have definitely seen it. So that means everyone can just enjoy the film as spoiler-free as possible, then come to this video, and hopefully I'll escape the wrath of the YouTube comments. So today we'll be playing as Spider-Man in all 3 Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. To make these videos more substantial, I like to do at least 2 characters at once. Originally, I was going to do every Spider-Man character, with Miles and Gwen showing up in the 3rd game, and we could throw in Venom and Green Goblin too, but I think it makes more sense to save them for Beyond the Spider-Verse next year. So I took a look at who else is in the film. Frank Castle's in the trailer, but we already covered him for Born Again. The Hulk is featured quite a lot, but we covered him for Brave New World. So the only option left is whoever Sadie Sink is playing. Bear in mind, I got the idea for this video and I recorded the gameplay before I'd seen the film, so this was a risk just in case she did end up being like Typhoid Mary or Screwball or some other random person that people kept saying for some reason. But like a lot of other people, I did feel like from the start there was a very high chance she would just end up being Jean. And she did end up being Jean. So today we'll be playing as Spider-Man and Jean Grey or the Phoenix in every Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. Okay, well Jean isn't actually playable in the first game, but we'll get to her, and for now, Spider-Man is going to go solo. His outfits are kind of what you'd expect. We've got the classic red and blue, the black suit symbiote, Ben Reilly the Scarlet Spider, and the Stark armor or the Iron Spider. Getting into the action, when his webs are working, obviously your boy can swing, and his basic attacks all have an acrobatic flair to them. A staple in almost every Spider-Man moveset is to simply shoot some webs at the enemy. The turning circle for this is quite slow, but it does do a decent amount of damage, unless the guys have their shield up. But when they do have them up, you can just spam the first of his overpowered moves. With this one, he grabs the enemy, spins them around, and then dumps them on the floor, meaning you can just wail on them, and if they get back up, you can just do this move over and over again. He also has this utility move where he webs up humanoid characters and stuns them for a bit, but you may as well just use the spin move. Another kind of useless move is the slingshot that lets you charge up and fly into enemies. In a game as fast paced as this, I just found it quite hard to work, and then it hardly does any damage if you actually manage to hit it. Maybe you can use this against slow bosses, but otherwise I don't see why you'd use it. And the best move he has is taken from one of his enemies, as he tells the enemies to get over here, and this one also puts him on the ground. This one is basically identical to the spin move, except it's faster and the enemies land at your feet. If an enemy hits another enemy, it will still do damage, and you can even grab objects. Honestly, you can get through this whole simulator mission just spamming this one move and you'll be fine. One of his boosts is a web shield, which can sometimes negate damage, and with the other, he uses his Spidey sense to slow down time, which obviously just makes combat a lot easier. And it's one of the skills, like Daredevil's, that you can use to cheese the simulator missions, because it slows down the in-game timer, giving you a lot more time to hit the score requirements for gold. His ultimate attack basically just plays out by itself, where Spider-Man swings around and kills all the nearby enemies. Well, you know, he doesn't kill, but whatever happens to these guys. I obviously haven't played these games for a year since I made the last video, but it was fun to start with such a simply good and easy to play character. You pull the guys towards you, punch them on the floor, slow down time, and let the ultimate attack do the work. And very fitting for Brand New Day, Spidey's sim mission centres around Scorpion. This mission sadly features some very harsh quick time events, so Dum Dum Dugan didn't make it this time. I mentioned before that Jean isn't playable, but she does still show up in the game. During the Mephisto's Realm sequence, Nightcrawler and Jean are locked in cages, and you need to sacrifice one of them. This doesn't really affect anything except for some dialogue and some story in the credits. If you kill Nightcrawler, Mystique gets upset and kills Charles, and if you kill Jean, she survives but becomes Dark Phoenix. None of this ends up mattering in the next game though, so it doesn't matter. And no matter who you choose, Mephisto will end up creating a copy of Jean that you'll need to fight alongside him in the boss fight. I don't have my footage from this, and I don't want to steal footage from another YouTuber, so I'll link to a video with all of this in the description. What I find quite funny is if you Google stuff about Jean Grey being playable, you'll find a ton of forum posts from back in the day of people saying that she is, and you just have to do some weird thing to unlock her, and there's so many people claiming that they've done it and they've played as her. All, like, it's clearly just made up, but it reminds me of like Mew being under the duck and just other things like that. I always love finding weird video game like playground conspiracies like this. So unless you can find the secret, she's not playable in the first game, but she is playable in the second game after you collect 5 McCran crystals for some reason. These games only have one alternate costume, so we've got the normal Spider-Man suit and then the Iron Spider. This is a cool touch because the second game is based on Civil War, and the Iron Spider first appeared during the Civil War run in 2006. Then we have Jean in her Phoenix costume, and then her alternate is from the First Class comic run. I put Hulk in the team for Brand New Day, but because Punisher isn't in this one, we just put Green Goblin in as well. And we put them into basic training, which is the best way to show off moves in this game. Spidey swings again, but in this one you can kind of control the height he's at. I don't know, I barely ever use the flying abilities in these games. You have to let me know in the comments, when is this useful? His web shooting move is back, and this one is slightly easier to aim, but I think it does less damage. However, it also has a chance to web up and stun the enemies, which could be useful. His circle move is also back, but it's slightly modified as it doesn't grab the enemies, but it does do a lot of damage. And his slingshot move is back. However, this time it is so much quicker, and you can actually like use it in a way that does damage, you know? And you don't even need to be as precise with this one because it's got splash damage. I like the idea that with someone as iconic as Spider-Man, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to take the stuff that works and then make it better. There's stuff here that made it into the Insomniac games, and there's stuff in the Insomniac games that have made it into the MCU. There's like a connective through line with Spider-Man of new people taking the source material and building on what people have done before. I just love this idea. His final move in this game is the web yank from the previous game, but this one is actually a bit slower and I don't see myself ever using it. You know, you can't win them all. Jean can also fly and slam back down, and she can also use her powers in the air. Speaking of powers, she's able to grab people and then blow them up. You just mash X and everyone blows up. Technically I think you're meant to hold X and throw the enemies back at them, but you can just mash it and make them all blow up. You can also hold down triangle, which creates a fire wave around Jean, and then they all blow up. And she has a similar move that's a lot quicker and also stuns people. She also has this fire move with a shotgun blast effect, which got a huge range and knocks all the enemies down, and everyone just blows up. I know she's an Omega level mutant, but I didn't expect her to be this powerful. It really does seem like you can just mash buttons as her and you'll be happy. Now let's talk about fusions, which is always the awkward part of the video as we realise how many are so similar. With Spider-Man, she creates a tornado as Spidey shoots rubble into it. The Hulk grabs a big boulder for her to slam into the ground. She creates a tornado for Green Goblin to throw grenades into. With Psylocke, they use their powers together to charge her into an enemy. And by the way, I only just found out that Psylocke is a pun. Like Psyche, Psylocke. Magneto puts a metal ball around her and she runs around. And then she brings everyone in so Storm can bring down her lightning. And with the Juggernaut... Okay, so the Juggernaut is similar to the Hulk, and so is Venom. So Storm is the same as Magneto with a different animation. Onto Spider-Man, he pairs with Venom the same way that he does with Jean, and Juggernaut, and Sue Storm. Spidey webs people as Mr. Fantastic jumps, Spider-Man webs people in as Daredevil whips, and Spider-Man whips Cap around. He brings people in as Johnny explodes, and he brings down Iceman's ice ball. He does his own fastball special with Wolverine, he does the same with Hulk as he does with Juggernaut and Venom, and finally he brings enemies in as Deadpool blows everyone up. This now brings us on to the next game, and for the first time ever in this series, we're playing on the Switch 2. I didn't notice any difference in performance, so it's the exact same. Now, I got the Platinum in the first 2 games, which we'll talk about later, but with this being on the Switch, I never felt the urge to go for the 100%, and there's just a lot to do in this game. So after loading up my save from recording the Fantastic Four video, I realised that even though I do have the Rise of the Phoenix DLC, I don't actually have Jean unlocked. To unlock her, we have to complete the 4th gauntlet in this list, but first we have to do the 3rd one and unlock Cable. I have no clue who's good in this game, but I remember liking the Human Torch, and I've got Gambit at a high level, so I took them. You unlock Thanos at like level 80, so I took him because he might be powerful, and then we took Spider-Man just to level him up a bit. First, we had to defeat Nebula and Ronan, which was quite easy. Then we had to beat Ultron and Maximus from the Inhumans, and then we defeated Cable quite easily. However, the Jean one didn't go as smoothly, partly due to being under-leveled, partly due to never engaging with the ISO system, and partly because I'm just bad at the game. The first part has us fight against Iceman, which was actually okay, and then we had to fight Gambit, where everyone just died so quickly. And we were left with just the under-leveled Spider-Man to hopefully revive someone. On my second go, I managed to just get through the fight, and we managed to sneak our way past Cable and Cyclops. Then we went up against Phoenix herself, who just wiped us. Now, I'll spare you from watching this, but I spent an hour finding out who the best characters are, the best lineup, and I grinded them to a decent level. And this one Miss Marvel move basically carried us to victory. If we do another one of these videos, then I'll definitely use this to level up more. We're ready for next time. But now we have Jean unlocked, we can get back to the video. Now this is what I call a brand new day. Honestly, the Spider-Man costumes would have required so much more grinding just for this one video, but I did get these OG Marvel Ghetto skins for Phoenix. A constant throughout all 3 games, Spider-Man can shoot webs, and the third version of this move is maybe the easiest to control with the fastest turning circle. I also like that his basic heavy attack combos into this rapid shot in the air. It just feels good. His next skill is very similar to the Web Blossom from the first Insomniac game, and might look familiar if you have seen Brand New Day. He's got this heavy move where he webs up a big ball and then slams it down onto the enemy, and finally he's got a utility move where the spider drone webs up enemies and stuns them. Now, Jean is a very interesting character in this game because she can steal EP from enemies, and EP is the resource that you use to perform abilities. It's this blue bar down in the corner. If you use this AoE move, anyone in the circle will continuously give you EP, which you can then use to do damage to enemies. But if you upgrade this, it will give EP to the whole team. And this is why, when I was googling the best character lineups to beat Jean, her name kept popping up. So now we've unlocked her, we should be a lot more powerful. You can use the EP to do another shotgun-like attack that does a lot of damage, but it's got less range than in the second game. You can also use it to do a Phoenix dash and charge into the enemy, and her final move is very reminiscent of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, as you push the button and everyone around you blows up. I only played as her to record this little section of the video, but I can see her being very handy on the higher difficulties, especially if we need to grind for anything in a future video. But before we leave, we need to check out their ultimate attacks. Spider-Man webs everyone up and then slams the big web ball down onto them, and Jean creates a big firestorm, and as usual, everyone just blows up. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through, and quickly I just wanted to kind of talk about the future of these videos. So number one, about 2 years ago I got the Platinum in the first game and I made a video on it, and I said that in the next few weeks I would upload a video on the second game, and I just have not done that. I don't know why, it's just got away from me. So that video will be out soon. It will definitely be out before Avengers Doomsday, but honestly I'm thinking about just finish it and upload it soon. If you let me know in the comments, if you want to see the Ultimate Alliance 2 Platinum video, then let me know and I'll get it done before September, you know, and if I don't, I'll delete my channel. But if, like, generally this video has to go up, it's been so long. The second part is I just want to talk about the future of this series. So this one is going to be, you know, you have to comment about this. You know, as you can tell, this is not my passion, these videos. You know, like, I like playing loads of other different games. But this is a game that I went back to, generally just because there's been people in the comments, you know, the videos have done well, and there's people in the comments that have said, like, they like watching the videos, so I've just been making them for each movie. But the Fantastic Four one didn't do as well, and that kind of made me think, when do we stop these? So kind of depending on the performance of this video, this might be the last one, obviously, other than the Platinum one. But I do think it makes sense. We should at least do one for Doomsday, just as well, because I was kind of looking at, like, what upcoming films can we, like, attach to? And it generally is just Doomsday in December, Secret Wars the next year, then Black Panther the year after that. At some point there'll be an X-Men film, at some point there'll be a Ghost Rider film, and then that is it. Like, you know, if they ever make Blade TV, is Armor Wars a film now? But, you know, we could technically make a War Machine video. I do think they are technically making a Shang-Chi 2, if that ever comes out. They're making a Nova film. I don't think he's in any of the games. And then on the TV side, we just have Vision Quest. If we look to the future, there's not much. It's Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then X-Men in 2028, but that's in 2 years' time. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, these videos are going to slow down anyway. Like, there won't be one till Doomsday and then Secret Wars the year after. So if this video doesn't do that well, then we will be doing a final one for Doomsday, and then that'll be it. So I basically just want to say thanks for watching all of these, because especially the way YouTube works with me making videos on so many different games, sometimes I can't tell if it's going to do well or not, and you are just kind of like hoping. The videos take so long to make, and you're just hoping that, like, someone sees it. You know, these Ultimate Alliance videos, even the Fantastic Four one that didn't do as well, it still did better than, like, other videos. So I just want to say thank you for watching these for the past 2 years, especially if you've been there from the start. But if you just jumped on for a film you liked or a character you liked, then thank you. Okay, so Doomsday might be the final one, which I think is a good stopping point. You know, we can do a big Avengers and X-Men crossover kind of thing, but most importantly, the Platinum video will be coming out before that, you know, most likely within the next month. Yeah, thanks for watching all of these, and have a good one.